Are we in a housing market bubble? Today, I'm going to address that question. Hey, Scott Himmelstein with the Scott Himmelstein Group. Welcome back to our vlog. Today, I'm talking to you about the question that I'm getting asked a lot lately, and that is, are we in or are we heading towards a housing market bubble and crash? So before I answer that question, it's important to know that in the last 2 years, that home prices nationwide have gone up 34.4%. And just in the last 12 months, 19.8% nationwide. That's unprecedented, and we've never seen anything like it historically in the US real estate market. Okay, so knowing that and knowing those numbers, we've talked about a lot of times here on this vlog that one of the biggest reasons that the housing market has been stable has been the lack of inventory. And that continues to be the case. The inventory crunch is really fueling this housing market. So earlier this week, the economists at Zillow published an article on why they thought that the inventory crunch is going to continue. And they said in their article that they're concerned that home builders are worried of the fears of the housing bubble or the housing bubble crash, that because of that, they are going to slow down their production of new home builds. Well, we're already in an inventory crunch, and we're already with that lack of inventory. If home builders actually act on those fears and they don't continue to build, then it's going to continue our shortage of inventory and we're not going to be able to catch up. So that's one of the biggest things that we're seeing right now, is that a lot of people are making decisions out of fear as opposed to looking at the data and the information right now. Now, that article by Zillow, and again, I don't always agree with everything that Zillow says. Just look at their Z estimate, which is constantly, usually not 100% accurate. So if you go further into this article by the economists at Zillow, they also say that they anticipate even more buyers to come into the market as even more millennials are coming into the marketplace to look for homes to buy. So you put all that together in the pot, and the inventory right now, we're still really short. So when you look at where we are right now, you only have 450,000 homes nationwide for sale. That's down from 900,000 at the beginning of the year. And if you go all the way back to January of 2016, we were at 1.5 million, more or less, nationwide. So just to give you an example here locally in the San Fernando Valley, if you go to Porter Ranch, 91326 zip code, in the beginning of the year, you only had 13 properties for sale. Right now, you're currently standing at 36 homes for sale. Now that's, obviously you think, wow, that's a lot more. But if you go back to 2019, in 2019 in 91326, this time of year, you had 84 properties for sale. So we're more than 50% under where we should be for the spring buying season. So you put all that together and the inventory is staying really low. So it's important to evaluate that when you're looking at the housing market. And with the lack of inventory, you know, this is making a big difference right now in the marketplace. Now, on the one hand, yes, are we seeing less buyers out there? Yes, because obviously due to the lack of affordability and the interest rates. But what we've started to see at our open houses and our listings over the course of the last couple weeks, yes, the amount of buyers coming through is less. But at the same time, we're still seeing offers, and a lot of our listings are seeing multiple offers with prices that are not being actually less than the list price. So again, what does that mean for everybody moving forward? Well, we don't anticipate a market crash, and we're not really even in a bubble. What we're seeing is that you're going to see more of a soft landing into a more normal market with just normal equity gains, not these double-digit appreciations of over month. And that's what's really starting to play out right now. Now, what's going to happen in the stock market? That's a whole different entity in itself. That's why I only stick to selling real estate. But based on the data and the facts, you are not looking at a housing market crash or a bubble. Any real estate questions? Give me a call, 818-396-3311. That's 818-396-3311. Thanks for watching our vlog.